plan. I mean, it's just coming down to have these plans, and I wouldn't put it past either of these teams to run away with it if they can really just find their footing.
No, absolutely. I think we've seen some good executes, at least on the early rounds, the early pistol and anti-eco coming out from ENV, and I want to see more of that definitely coming out from them. But for Minions United, they had some really good looks for their A site hits. Their B site hit wasn't as great. I think they set up some good crossfires and they were able to win the round. I just really liked the look of their A site hits. So it looks like they're going to be stacking up for a B side hit here as we get the match timer unpaused. We're going to come into the round right now. And they're all 5 stacking coming into this area.
Yeah, already the A execute goes on through, and it feels like ENV Sapphire just waiting for that call to go. And it seems like the call is not going to be now because the null command's used.
Yeah, they use the null command to buy themselves that space that, or not just null command, but I'm sorry, the lockdown. They use that lockdown coming out from the attackers to gather that space that they wanted in order to execute onto the B site, get the spike planted, and start to set up their post-plant defense of the spike. And already Lover's taken a few dings for themselves. The drone being used and taken out by the defenders is in that rotation. Zoom finds May as they were just trying to clear out some of these odd...
One enemy remaining.
That's it! There's no time! They waited way too long for that retake to come on in. Like, yeah, you saw it. Obviously, the null command was used to stall that inevitable retake, but the whole point of it was to stall it out, and it found its value. And ENV Sapphire, I feel like they needed to adapt their plan. You can't just rely on that lockdown, especially when you can play Boathouse, right? You need some sort of alternate win condition that's just push them back to Boathouse because they're still on site. You're gonna run out of time, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, ENV Sapphire, you're gonna be forced onto an eco because of that, and it feels like these rounds are just gonna keep trickling farther away from you.
Absolutely, as we can already see Zoom coming in and getting blown up immediately. Polo quickly, I mean, that is a team flawless coming out from Minions United. What just happened there?
Well, I believe that was a traditional PRX play or something of that sort, where the defense pushes out through mid and B main, tries to go for that sort of crunch. But on an eco, solid play. It's just that Minions United were just waiting for them to make some sort of aggressive play, because that's what you do when you're on that gun advantage. And it feels like Minions United just playing this one better. I hate to say that, but it just feels like they are. Oh boy, the op in the picture now.
That op came up huge. That smoke went down and they took that shot anyways, knowing and trusting that their sight was lined up for it. Beautifully done, pegging him right in the chest, so no more KO for Minions United after a massive pick by Zoom. Cleaning up a little bit from that last play in the last round where they were the first ones to go down after over-aggressing with their Blade Storm. Now that's really slowed down the pace of this round. Using the op there to take out the drone sometimes feels like a little bit of overkill, but look at this crossfire setup. Finds a KO, but traded back instantly. Means that they go down to themselves. So a 3v4 with the attackers. They don't really have mid control. They have like this light pressure in mid with all 3 of them there, but they don't really have a way through market unless they can clear out the KJ here. And that is going to prove to be a little bit difficult for themselves. They do get 1. Do they get 2? No! They get traded out after taking 2. So that's a huge play taking by the KJ. To make sure that stifles that market hit that they were trying to get into the B site. And now this Omen is really between a rock and a hard place. No matter where they go, they're going to get hit. Did use the smokes there to cover themselves slightly, but the Jet doesn't quite see him yet. But Omen's already sneaking up there and gets taken out instantly. Shelby ready and waiting for Biddy to pop out of that.
Yeah, and Minions United, I think it just comes down to their decision there to slow it down and play towards mid is fine, except for the fact that they all kind of ran towards mid. They didn't have any map control anywhere else, so there was no other plan for them, right? Once you get picked off towards that mid side, and after giving up A main the start of the round, you're like, okay, what do we do now? The only chance we have is to try and go with the space we already have, and it just wasn't enough. The operator, the crossfire, everything there. NV Sapphire showing signs of life, and they are again with Zoom on the app this round.
Zoom has been clean these past 2 rounds with these shots, picking up the early initial entry fraggers from the side of Minions United. Very well done to stifle these hits. I mean, you saw the shot come out. They dashed out of the way, making sure that anybody else that would be coming around that corner would not catch them out. And now look at this look that they still have onto A site. A little bit of a risky one in case anybody comes through this area, but I mean, still so well done by them. Good smokes to kind of blind out what the Opera was looking at. And a good setup there by Minions United, though, to get into the site anyways. Find a good crossfire to take out the defenders. And they are able to get 3 of them suppressed. But it doesn't look like it's quite going to be enough, as Obscuri does find one. Does get traded instantly back by Ira with the wallbang. Now, with Jet up in the top, means that they're all actually focused on this door. They have one person looking up here. They're going to use the Owl Drone to try to catch anybody out. Sees the KJ drop down and is immediately going to try to follow up, but Ira and then Tia, oh, this is huge. They're just trading back and forth. They're trying to clear out Hell. Does actually find the Omen there and trade it back instantly. A 1v1 now. Sova versus KJ, and instantly, as KJ peeks, they get taken out. KO had that head and took it clean off.
Minions United, you see them time and time again have layers to these post plant setups, right? It's not just, okay, we're going to play back site and play bomb. No, there is timings where they're saying, okay, we're going to go and push up with these aggressions towards that A heaven when the smokes are cycled on out. That was a mouthful there, but still, you get the point, right? You have so many things that you can choose to do. And Minions United, they finally capitalize on just one of them, and that is enough to secure them yet another round. So now no op, just a sheriff.
Yeah, that's going to be a little rough. Instantly gets taken out by May. I mean, that's just a little bit of a gun diff there. It's hard whenever you only have a sheriff. You have to land those shots, and they were just so slow on. They tracked them. They just didn't click. And when that kind of thing happens, it makes it very, very rough for you to win out on duels. So now the defenders are down to 4. Their B site is a little bit weaker, but their A, they have the 2 people here. They pop the flash, get all 4 flash, but doesn't get any kills. It gets traded out instead. Not landing those shots. Really, really rough, as they're just clearing corners now, making sure that everybody's out of this site, and they can set up their post-plant defense once again. They get the spike planted, and you can see they've spread out across the site, covering all of these angles that are normally checked and would be good entrances for the defenders to come in on. And with that door closed, it makes it that much more difficult and that many less spots, as instantly Tia up in the top gets taken down, only having that pistol. Sova, though, Sova v Sova, that's Envy's win there. Does get that Vandal, so an opportunity for them to win out on a trade, but instantly once they break that door down, Lover was waiting, and that's the end of that.
Yeah, it seems like gun disadvantage, NV Sapphire, they kind of just roll over and they say, you can have the round. We're trying to go for something, but eventually it just doesn't work out for them. And I think that's because they need to have some sort of additional pressure elsewhere on the map, right? You see them on their defensive sides. They do 2 plans, either sit back and default, or they aggress towards one sort of angle, and the fight goes well for them, or it doesn't. When it doesn't, they lose the round. When it does, they keep on pushing. And, Minions United, already aware of that side, he just takes sort of advantage of it and wait for those players to walk on out and come through. That being said, when the aggression has worked out, that's the times you've seen them get their 3 rounds, at least one of those being on the pistol round. And it makes you think, right? What did NV Sapphire do differently on those pistol rounds and on that anti-eco that they didn't do with the rest of these full buy rounds? I think that's what they're going to be looking at in this timeout here. Celtic, their coach, or maybe just one of the players saying, hey, let's take a breather here, calculate our decisions a little bit more. And we have 4 ults on the board. We can play this brain-heavy game. We can play some sort of plan that we're just set up for right off the bat. So, with the op on B, I have to assume that it's going to be Killjoy retake with the lockdown on A.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the best use of their ultimates. You have the KO ult, that lockdown, so useful. Is instantly spotted as this B-side execute. They're sending all 5 players to it from Minions United, and that's a good smoke there to smoke out Market. Already taking advantage of the boathouse, and that op from Soon coming up big once again. Jet dashing, just not quite finding anything. Is falling to the wayside for Minions United. They do find one, but he's just trapped in the back of the site now. Can't actually get out to be able to plant. Slowly creeping their way out, faking it, but they're just going to be tossing, rounds through the back of the boathouse, just trying to see if they can't poke him out at all. But still a minute left. It's a 1v3 scenario that is very winnable. I wouldn't say this isn't winnable, but you have if ENV peak at the same time from different angles, they win. That's just the long and the short of it. And there it is instantly. You can see they go in, they get the suppress, one down Tia, but then on the backside, peek at the same time. You trade that out, and you're perfectly happy because you win the round.
Last round in the half.
You know, I'm still not convinced that either team has full control over this game, because although it might have seemed like Minions United are running away with this half, right, having, 5 straight and then an additional 2 to tack on, but think about it. If this is 5-7 ENV Sapphire, so what that they scored 5 rounds straight? You have an opening to take back this game for yourself. And sure, it might be depending on zone with the operator, but if that's what works, right, you can't fault that. You have to just keep taking these rounds as they come for you.
Absolutely. A good vision steal to start that off, and immediately, once again, the shot dash out means that Zoom takes down the opposing KJ. Bladestorm from Lover using a jump up, see if they can't see anything over the smoke. They do take out that recon drone, waiting for just a few more seconds. The pop flash is perfect, forces them out of their position, meaning that nobody else gets taken out by that operator. They know where they are, and they just have to now play it safely, and immediately not quite able to find the flick, but traded back is Ira. So a 1-for-1 trade there. The plant is going to come through, and it's now all about this post-plant retake coming out from ENV here to hopefully get their 5th round if you're rooting for them, because that is something that they will probably need if it's going to be this messy of a game. And immediately, a really awkward peek there by Shelby means that they are able to pick up that one. And there's another one. Lover picking up 2. Almost picks up their 3rd. Does almost, it is just peek after peek after peek, and they're not peeking at the same time. It feels like it was just one after another after another.
There's a lot to unfold in that round, because let's be real. Minions United, right? Iro should not have gone down trying to peek CT there. The gamble was good, right? You're in your ult, you get knocked down, you can get res back on up. That's the beauty of the null command, but unfortunately it runs out just a tad too soon. You do lose your life, but that's all good, right? Here's the game plan for ENV Sapphire. Let's dump all our ults, force them to be in 2 spots, and we win. Well, the only problem is they tried that same plan before, and it didn't work out. It feels like they can't even let Minions United get on B, otherwise the round is a wrap. I don't know if there's been a single time where Minions United have been stalled after getting that bomb down on the B side. Maybe you put a little bit more firepower there to start the round, but all good. It's in the past right now. An 8-4 half isn't the worst result, and ENV Sapphire have a chance to take this in their own hands.
Absolutely. We did talk about at the start of this map that it's an execute heavy map, and if you can execute better, you're just going to win. And so far, it has been Minions United executing better, and we can already see a trade back and forth of util and some shots fired out of some guns to kind of try to assert dominance over by the A site. But with that mid control, they're actually going to force through Market here, force Rover back off of where they were trying to hold a position on, and wrapping around. And in this rotation, they are able to trade one back, and then it's just May. May's popping off in this site. May, this is... Oh, tried to go for the melee kill there. Doesn't quite work out for the Sova, but May gets their 3rd of the round in an amazing defense of B site. I did not expect this in this kind of fight here, and they do not quite get their 4th. Get wall banged. They were low on health. The spike is picked up and is going to get planted potentially, but KO is here. Finish this round off for Minions United, and you have to give that round, solely on the back of May holding off so many people at once.
Absolutely. That is, what you call don't hit Killjoy's sight. I mean, it's one of those things where you kind of have to figure out where she is, and running into a pistol round Killjoy is never fun because those nanoswarms, you might think, oh, they do 25 damage. Well, guess what? That makes you a one tap from a classic headshot. So that's a valuable 25 HP. Every single number counts. And Minions United rewarded with those heroics from Mei. Let's see if they can do it here on their anti-eco buy. Mei getting suppressed up. You'd have to assume maybe there's a different approach here for ENV Sapphire, but the hand not just shown just yet.
Not quite yet. Taking it a little bit slower now. I mean, I like the look coming out from Minions United. They're not over-aggressing here. They're a beautiful shot there through the smoke for Mei to pick up that kill with the nanoswarm, it looked like. So it was nanoswarm plus just like it was 1 or 2 shots, and that spells the end of the opposing not Killjoy, KO, as my words get fumbled there for a second. And now it's a reset for ENV Sapphire with 56 seconds left on the clock to get this spike down, and they have to figure out where they want to go. Jett holding this A spot quite nice. They have a really good angle on this, taking that high look on the minimap where that spike is, and Rover just holding here on the rotation, seeing if anybody's here, does spot them, but does not quite get the kill. But it does force the Jett away, knowing that there's at least one person still at B site, and missing out with those Marshall shots, you just have to land it on the chest. Just hit the chest and you're good. That's the beauty of a Marshall and an anti-eco, because there's very little armor purchase, and on the chest, it will take you out. Trying to take down that door before it goes down. Zoom is here, gets taken out instantly by Biddy. Ira taking down Shelby, and they're swarming back into this. And that's that. That's the defuse coming through. Very beautifully done on that retake. Coming out from Minions United, only losing 1.
Yeah, I mean, Minions United, the player they lost, I believe, was one that had a ghost, so they're gonna have pretty solid credits going into this next one. Yeah, you see Betty over there on that Omen now with 2,000 credits, full shields, and a Bulldog. But Minions United, I mean, they played that round how they were supposed to. However, they did make one mistake, and that was not kind of flooding on that retake, right? Obviously, you can fault Lover for missing the Marshall shots, so be it, but still, in that situation, you want to be a little bit more aggressive, take your gun advantage, and press the fights when you know they just have classics on the opposite side.
Absolutely. You want to deny as much economy as possible from these teams, especially when you have that gun advantage. And now with this setup coming through, mid control is there for ENV. Throws out a flash to make sure market's clear and they can actually walk in, taking it a little slower than I would expect. With the drone coming out, though, it's going to get taken out too, and immediately Rover not able to get the flick down, dies to the shots, but Mei finds 1, finds 2 in that 2v1 scenario as Ira trades it right back. Is not quite able to find the sheriff shots yet, is throwing in another chamber as we get shots all over. KO and Zoom are going at it, and somehow it is traded right back with the grenade. It is 11-4 and some just massive heroics in a gun disadvantage coming out from Minions United.
Oh boy, I'm not gonna lie. There was a hot bit of whiffage right there, and if you want to watch that back, you certainly can. I mean, the VOD's gonna be posted after the game. Yeah, if you want to take a second peek at that one and look for some analysis of yourself, go for it. But I'm just going to have to put it down to the gunplay there. I mean, ENV Sapphire, right? That's not how you want your buy round to go against a bonus. And now you have an op-up for Lover. I mean, I just feel like this is a free overtime point for Minions United. And now they're just going to have to win 8 more, or have 8 more chances after this.
And look at the hold that Mei has here. The dash in. Jett doesn't even check it. Gets 2. Does not quite get the 3rd. Tia finding 2 actually is quite a big look for them. They have a potential opportunity here in this 2v2, but Sova is quite low to the Jett and Omen, who are full health. So is KJ, but definitely not going to be an easy one for the attackers for ENV Sapphire, as the KJ ult was placed down. So the attacker lockdown gonna buy them some time with this spike planted to make it a little bit more hurried on this retake coming out from Minions United, but they have a decent opportunity to do so. I believe Lover did pick up a Vandal. Did get the Omen was spotted by the recon drone, so something to keep in mind there. They don't know where everybody is, and immediately that Odin is taken out of commission, and that is going to be that. Lover taking down both of them in the back of the site, and I think that's also, yeah, that's going to be a spike that's going to be diffused with 1.94 seconds left.
Yeah, Minions United, I mean, that's obviously... I guess I said this was a free round for Minions United. It wasn't. They had to work for it. It was costly, yeah, but they do manage to come out on top. ENV Sapphire, if you've got anything left in the tank, anything at all that says, hey, we want this win more than you, you've got at least one round to give it your all, because then after that, you're going to need at least 7 additional more to bring this to OT. But just think about the first one, right? Just think about the first... Think about the string of rounds you had, starting with pistol round, and sure, it ended with anti-eco, but you know you're capable of winning.
Yeah, I mean, you have to start somewhere, and you have to take that first step. And May is setting up pretty aggressively here. Does find one, does not find the second. Obscure does find another, as there's Cascade with that wallbang. So taking 2 down for the price of 1, not a bad deal. I always love 2-for-1 deals when I go shopping, and I don't think that ENV will be too disappointed by that at all. Lover here is on the op at the A site, ready and waiting for the rotate to come through, and does not find that shot. Does stick off to the side to make sure they're not taken out, but that smoke does allow time for ENV to get into this position. They are going to take a hold onto the site. The shot's not quite landing from Zoom just yet. Just trying to see if they can't find anybody through the smoke there. Spike's going to be planted right on the edge to make sure it's the hardest spot for him. This good flash comes out, pushes Lover out of position, and they can't quite find anything else. We're going to get a flash from the KO over the wall. Does find one. Ira finds the opposing KO there, and a big play is that is a very good crossfire setup, as it's only Lover left right now. And actually, no. That is everything. Minions United take the 13th round and the win of this map over ENV Sapphire once they get this diffuse off. What a map that was.
I get it. You were going for your minion impression there.